Welcome to Freely Speaking Podcast with your host, Carletha Wells, where everything is spoken of from my heart to yours. God began to tell me, this morning while I was on my fast. He said, you made it look easy. But he had been telling me this, but when you're fasting, things are going to come out a little bit more heightened. You're going to get to the depths of it. And God began to tell me, he said, you made it look easy. You made it look like what you were going through easy. So some people didn't believe your story. Your story didn't have the depth that you thought it had because you made it look easy. And I'm here to tell you, obviously, you don't know what grace looked like. God's amazing grace is going to cause you to not look like what you're going through. When 9 times out of 10, it's way worse than what folks think it is. And I think that's what started what made my depression even worse. And, I covered it up. Folks maybe on the outside couldn't tell, and Lord knows I didn't know that's what it was. I was just like, okay, I'm done with some people. People don't believe me. People have turned their backs on me. God, I know you have me. A lot of fasting and praying. People are thinking I must be losing my mind. I don't know what all the craziness they were thinking. But God began to tell me, he said, I protected you from a lot of things because folks didn't understand your story. And it's not because they wanted to believe your story. They chose not to believe your story because you made it look easy. I took the Dollar Tree makeup and the beauty supply makeup and made it look like it was expensive, I guess, to some folks. But if you go back and you could look at some older pictures, you gonna see the difference from a picture today and a picture of back then. You could tell that makeup is off. Like, okay, call it the makeup got a cast to it. You know what I'm saying? But I made it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ugly, so I made it do what it do. Put a smile on your face, it's gonna look a little bit better. The lipstick, don't stay on as longer when it's from the Dollar Tree. But hey, I made it do what it do. And so, and God began to tell me, he said, you took the Goodwill clothes and the hand-me-down clothes and you ironed them up. And I'm a hairstylist, so I can do my hair. So, I made it look like I wasn't going through as bad. I come from a family of good cooks. My mom was the queen of budgeting and coupons, is what I call the queen of coupons. So she taught me how to, as the old folks say, how to make a dollar stretch. So I could take a meal that may have cost me, you couldn't tell, $3 or $2, and make it look like it was fancy. Then my grandmother and my mom taught me about cutting up your vegetables and you putting them in a Ziploc bag. And see, I'm Louisiana and I'm Creole. So if you take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, that's what Creoles have learned. You take a little bit of this, you take a little bit of that, you take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, and you mix it together, and you got you a good meal. That's how gumbos gave birth. That's how some people call them goulash when they take the okra, sausage, chicken, and shrimp. You take a little bit of shrimp, a little bit of sausage, take a little bit of okra, you take a little bit of tomato sauce, tomato paste, maybe some chopped tomatoes, and you put that together, and you got you an okra sauce, chicken, and shrimp dish. You understand what I'm saying? So folks did not know that, my mom and them taught me, and anything with a gravy gonna cause it to stretch. And I'm Southern, anything with some rice gonna really make it stretch. So when people were judging, they were judging all, God said, I'm gonna show you how to do this. But I didn't know that how deep grace was. And God began to let me know during this phase. He said it was grace. It's like you the epitome of what grace looks like. I would say, you the epitome of what grace looks like. Your story don't match what you was telling. You know how when you go to the come on, you done been in the courtroom and when an accident happened, first you got the police report. Police gonna come and they gonna have a police report, right? So in the police report, it's gonna say one thing, and then, then the police, they got their, nah, it don't look like what she's saying it is, because hold on, now we see the fingerprints, but it don't look like, the situation wasn't as bad as what it is she's saying it is. So they kind of twist up your words a little bit, right? You know how they do it in those fake police reports. So then when you get to court and you start telling your story with a panel of your peers because you pleading your case, this is what happened to me. And God said, because grace was so much on your life, is so much on your life. Thanks for tuning in to Freely Speaking Podcast with your host, Carletha Wells. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking that button so you can get that notification when I post new videos. Don't forget to like,